Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Dream Huge podcast, baby. Woo!
Let's
Man, we love
go.
sharing. Let's go!
Let's
We
go,
love
guys. What is up?
stories. Yes, we're fired up. We love sharing success stories of huge dreamers, movers, shakers, influencers, people in the real estate industry, and much, much more. And hopefully, these stories will help to motivate and inspire you to dream huge. So today we are joined by JP for three, John Pavlansky. What is up, JP? Top producer, Dream Huge Realty 2023.
What is going on, man? Gosh, I'm feeling the energy today. I'm feeling the energy. It's going to be a good one. We've got a great guest. We're talking some real estate today. I'm doing absolutely tremendous, outstanding. Pete, how are you doing, my man?
Excellent, man. Super excited for this one. We're going to be talking some real estate. We're going to be talking some CrossFit. My man has a Murph shirt on. We're going to get into that. Can't wait. But we also have our other co-host, Justin Bigelow. Biggie, the three-time champ here at Dream Huge Realty. What's going on, Biggie?
What's going on? Feeling outstanding. Never average. 10x.
Never average. And what's the other bracelet say?
Oh yeah, that one's 10x.
10X, and JP says, don't be a little bitch.
There we
That's
go.
right. That's right. Hey, that's our unofficial tagline around here. Okay, so our very special guest is Shane Noblin. How you doing, Shane?
What's up, guys? Another day in paradise. If I was doing any better, my name would have to be Pete, John, or Justin.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, thank you for joining us today. I know you're a super busy guy. And I never did get your official title. Usually pre-show, I say, I ask our guest, how would you like me to introduce you as? Shane Noblin blank. So I guess we'll go ahead and fill in that blank now.
Yeah, fair enough. So, shoot, I guess I would have to start off with Shane Noblin, husband, father, realtor, coach, and then fitness guy. You know what I'm saying? Like it all flies in there. Husband, father come first over everything else, and that's the way it should be. Everything else complements, that aspect of your life. And then the other three, I think the other three are equal, really, between fitness, your job, real estate, and helping other people out here in the community, whether it's helping them with real estate, helping them get better at what they're doing, with their career, whatever. I think all three of those are even, but all three of those come behind wife and children. So
Yes, sir. So Shane is a family man first, no doubt. The same thing as us, this crew right here. So we totally respect that, love that. In a very close second, it sounds like everything tied right there: real estate, fitness, CrossFit. So let's dive into the real estate right off the bat here. What does your real estate business look like on a day to day?
So I get up in the morning. First thing I do is fire up my Zoom room where I coach agents all over the world. I've got agents that come in from all over the United States, South Africa, Scotland, Dubai, Puerto Rico, Brazil. I had an agent out of Slovenia come in 2 weeks ago, and I worked with him for about 2 hours on his cold calls. What was cool about that, number one, I didn't know where Slovenia was, and I had to look at a map and find out it's a little country right beside Italy, right to the right of Italy. And I didn't know what language they spoke, and they speak Slovenian. So it's Slovenia, and they speak Slovenian, which is like an offshoot or similar to Ukrainian, right? So he was doing his calls in Slovenian and then translating each call afterwards into English so that I could help him connect with his clients better. And what's so cool about this is that people are people everywhere you go. It truly doesn't matter. And real estate is the same in any of these countries. I got several agents in South Africa I'm coaching, a couple in Australia. Hell, I've got an agent in the capital of Scotland, right? And it's the same everywhere you go. Everybody has their own issues, their own things that they're battling with, but it's just amazing to see how an agent in North Carolina can help agents all over the world and improve their life. But now after that, I kind of got off on a tangent. Sorry about that. After that, I go do so once I fire up the Zoom room and, welcome the agents into the Zoom so that they can either make cold calls or I can coach them one-on-one. Once I do that, then I do my own personal calls. And I typically start my day off with any new FSBOs that have hit the market. I'll call any new expireds that have hit the market. And then this year I'm diving into older luxury expireds, kind of broadening my horizons and hitting the ones that are 3-4 years old and growing that end of it. So that typically takes me through about noon or 1 o'clock. I'll stop and have a meal and then work on my social media stuff or my coaching for the rest of the afternoon.
Excellent. So everything revolves around real estate there, coaching. You are an agent yourself. Biggie, you have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, Shane, I had this idea. You mentioned expireds, the luxury expireds.
Yeah.
I had this idea the other day, actually, listening to Ryan Serhant's book, Big Money Energy, and he tells a story about how he got this listing and it was taking forever to sell. And I'm not sure, if it was expired, but going after the luxury expireds, have you ever created an ad campaign or something that says like, "Is your house taking forever to sell, or did it not sell in a amount of time you wanted to?" Do you have anything like that you've used to kind of, instead of just calling, maybe some
Right. Well,
outbound
I'll tell you, I'm fairly low tech. I turned 51 this year, so technology is really not my friend. I'm good enough at it to get on Zoom, to put together videos for my YouTube channel, that kind of thing. But when it comes to, if you guys look at my Instagram page, I got very little real estate on it. I haven't dove into that aspect of social media too heavily. I've got more on my Facebook page, but I have not done a lot with running ad campaigns and, targeted any specific groups of people. All of my business has been generated through me calling people and creating a relationship on the phone with them, getting appointments, and then getting in front of them and trying to convert them with, personality, my background, the things that I do. I feel like the better you get at building rapport, the better you're going to get at converting clients. Because I hear people all the time say, well, how do you overcome such and such objection? And quite honestly, most of the objections that they ask me about, I don't get. And I tell them I don't get it because I build rapport with people. When you're getting an objection, it's because somebody has a question mark in their brain about you, your abilities, your motivations, whatever the case may be. The better you get at building rapport, the less objections you're going to get coming from the other side of the fence. And so, short answer to your question, I have not done much with social media targeted ads trying to generate leads without making cold calls, which,
Gotcha.
there's a lot out there about that. And I'm sure it is a fruitful way of doing business.
Okay.
I've just been able to get on the phones and get people to trust me. So it's worked.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah.
sounds to me like you're a cold call expert. What would be some of the biggest mistakes cold callers make, and maybe frame up what would a perfect cold call look or sound like?
So some of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to convert their prospects on the phone. The phone is not for conversion. The phone is for setting appointments. It's for building rapport and setting appointments, and that is it. The moment you try to sell somebody on that phone, you try to convince them that you can do it better than they're doing it, whether you're talking to a FISBO, whether you're talking to an expired, whether you're circle prospecting, probates, for rent by owners, whatever. It doesn't matter the lead source. The moment you try to convert them on the phone, you're going to lose them. It's over.
Why is
I've
that?
even thought, I don't know if it's sales resistance. I don't know if it's because they haven't met you. You're not face to face. Like the conversion happens face to face. That's just that's where the money is. Now, something else that you don't do is you don't spin a bunch of BS. See, us as humans, for eons, we have been sniffing out BS, right? And so the moment that you get a FISBO on the phone and you say, hey, I got a bunch of buyers, I'd love to come by to see if your house is a good fit for one of them. Well, they know that's crap. They know your only goal is to get in front of them to get a deal, right? The moment you do that, you may as well hang it up. It's over. So being authentic with people, building rapport, talking about crap has nothing to do with real estate. If you watch some of the videos on my YouTube channel, I made a reference on one of them to Mike Tyson, right? It was an expired. And the lady said that they had an as-is property, 150K, which is half of our midpoint. So it's like starter home level home. But they were doing it as is, and their old agent got it under contract, knew it was as is. They talked about it all the time. They got a repair request for $10,000 in, and the agent was trying to convince them that they needed to do these repairs because they didn't want to take a chance of losing the deal. And she goes, we talked over and over and over again about the fact that we were doing no repairs. And then when she said that, we said, no, this is an as-is property. And she continued trying to convince us that we needed to change. I said, the problem you had there was you needed a Mike Tyson in your corner, right? And not Mike Tyson when he fought Buster Douglas, but Mike Tyson when he knocked out Michael Spinks in 20 seconds. That's the Mike Tyson you needed as your real estate agent fighting for you. I picked up, wasn't trying to, but picked up the listing right there on the phone, right? Because humor, like listening to people, connecting with them, building rapport, like that is what matters more than anything else in these cold calls, is building that rapport. When I have agents that come in that are like, hey, I'm struggling, I'm having a hard time, I've got, 100 contacts a day, 50 contacts a day. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you consider a contact? And they're like, well, somebody that answers the phone. And I go, okay. And so how are you categorizing your wins? The number of contacts you have? And they go, yeah. And I say, well, let's do this. Let's reprogram your brain. Take a legal pad, sit it beside you on the desk. Write 10, 20, and 30 on that legal pad. When you're on the phone with the prospect, when that call ends, look down at the timer on the phone. If it's more than 10 minutes but less than 20, put a check mark on the 10. If it's more than 20 minutes but less than 30, put a check mark on the 20. If it's more than 30 minutes, put a check mark on the 30. Here's the thing. The big win is having a 30-minute conversation with a complete stranger. If you're able to do that consistently, getting an email is no problem. Building rapport is no problem. Heck, if you go to the bar and spend 30 minutes talking to somebody of the opposite sex that you're trying to create a relationship with, 30 minutes of talking to someone will get you a phone number and a second date and whatever. So the 30-minute conversation with a complete stranger is a game changer. And once you can change your mindset to not caring about how many dials, not caring about how many connects you have or conversations you have, but worrying about how many 30-minute conversations you have and getting good at creating situations where that happens over and over and over again, your business will explode.
Woo!
Sorry, guys.
Ooh, love it. Get face to face, baby. Get face to face.
So-
We preach it all the time. Go ahead, JP.
So Shane, you're telling me to be successful in this business and to be successful as a cold caller, all you need to do is have honesty, transparency, and build a connection.
Yeah, that's it.
It's that simple.
Matter of fact, I love when my FSBO prospects go, well, all you want is to get a deal. All you want is to get a listing. And I go, no, actually, I'm looking to see how I can help you any way that you need. But is that what you're looking for? Right? You mentioned it. Are you looking for somebody to help you list the house? Because I can do that if that's what you need. Or when they go, do you have a buyer? And I go, absolutely not. Matter of fact, I talk about this all the time. When they ask me in my script, when I do my one non-negotiable where I say, hey, are you open to the idea of working with the buyer's agent if the offer makes sense? If they follow that up with, well, do you have a buyer? No, absolutely not. I don't have a buyer. I'm a listing specialist. Matter of fact, I specialize in hard to sell listings, like expired properties where the other agent wasn't able to get a big win, or for sale by owner properties where the for sale by owner, more than likely through nothing more than lack of exposure, they're not able to get a big win. But my question is, are you open to the idea of working with a buyer's agent if it was a great offer? See, where agents get stuck, here's what happens. You get that crazy question, right? Do you have a buyer? Well, no, I don't have a buyer. And then they stop and they wait to see what the person says. They wait for the acceptance of their answer. And the person goes, well, if you don't have a buyer, I don't want to talk to you. And then they try to overcome that. They try to get beyond that. What you do instead, and this is something I learned when I was a cop. I was a sergeant on narcotics, and I went on, over 2,000 dynamic search warrants where I was on the stack going in, making entry. But I did a lot of interview and interrogation. And as an interview or interrogator, you want to be sure that you're in control of the conversation. So I bring that tactic in here, right? And so when another agent, when your prospect asks you a question, especially an uncomfortable question, you answer that question the way that you would, then you roll into a statement, then you roll into your own question. See, I'm assuming that they accepted that answer. So I'll go, no, I don't have a buyer. I'm a listing specialist, da 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 da. But my question is, right, the reason I'm calling you today is to see if you're open to the idea of working with a buyer's agent, if the offer made sense. So now I've answered their question, assumed the answer is accepted, rolled into my own question. Now I'm back in control of the conversation. And they don't even realize what I'm doing.
Perfect. Total control.
We're working
Yeah,
with
guys,
an
I love
expert.
this. I talk about this stuff all day long. My wife is like, I've heard this over and over and over again. And I said, well, this is the way it is.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of strategy and game plan there. See, and that's what you need. You know, I've been reluctant with scripts. I've always been, hey, let's just show up, let's just keep showing up, and let's just be here to help people out. And that will take you so far.
Yeah.
But you add in that little strategy there, stuff like that, that's going to help take you to the next level.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Hit me with it.
Real advice. I got, I'm doing the letters, like, that we teach in Goldbar and everything.
Yeah.
And I had someone literally text me about 2 hours ago. They said they got my letter and they want more information about the prospect for buying the house. They want to know if it's residential, commercial. I don't know why they asked that, but they also asked if I had a price in mind. And I can tell you, this is my response. I said I have multiple buyers, all price points. I can give an estimated price after a walkthrough, and then I also said the sale really depends on what you're looking for. And they have not responded, so I'm kind of thinking, should I send another response like a question, or what do you advise?
I absolutely despise text messaging back and forth.
Okay.
It is the bane of my existence. You really cannot. They don't get to hear your tonality, the honestness in your voice. They don't get to hear all that stuff. So when I get a text message like that comes across, hey, we'd like to know what your price point, da 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 da. Great. When's a good time? I'll text back. When's a good time we could talk on the phone? Right. We're going to start with that phone conversation on the phone. We're going to talk them through this process. Hey, look, I would love to bring you an offer for your house. I'm going to have to come see it first, right? I'm going to have to, take a couple of photos, see how the layout is, see how it flows, speak with you guys about kind of what you're looking to do, timeline, that kind of thing. And then I'll be able to pair it with the best buyer that I've got.
Okay.
Right. And we'll come up with a price that makes sense for everybody involved.
Perfect. I'm writing this all down.
Love it.
Now, something else you can do because go ahead, Pete.
Well, yeah, no, at the end of the day, and ultimately we're trying to add value as listing agents. How do we add values by netting the homeowners more money on the sale?
Right.
Especially those FSBOs who are so anti real estate agent. No, I'll do it myself. I don't want to pay the 6%. I don't even want to pay the 3%. But once you show them the net, our job is to make them more even after paying us. And that's how we add value, and we do add value, or else our jobs wouldn't even exist. So it's just a matter of, getting them to wrap their mind around that we're here to help. We're here to help them make more money.
Here's the thing about what you just said. We need to get better as a group at storytelling, right? Versus hitting them with bullet points. So saying, look, I can net you more money for this house. That's absolutely true. We know that's absolutely true. But what I like to do is tell them a real story. So about 3 months ago, I had an agent in my market reach out to me. She knows that I do a lot of FSBO or all of the FSBOs in the area. And she goes, hey, are you working this couple out of Conway? This FSBO out there for $300,000. I went, no, that's just a little bit outside of my range. I haven't gone out that far. She was like, oh, good. And I went, why? She goes, well, I had buyers that called me. They wanted to see that house. I reached out to the owner and said, hey, I see you have your house for sale by owner. I got some buyers that would like to see it. Can we talk about commission, that kind of thing? And the guy was like, I'm not listing it. I don't care what you say. I'm not going to list this property. He said, but I'll work with you on a commission, 2.5%, which is pretty standard around here. He said, you bring the buyers and see it. If they like it, we'll figure it out. So she's like, all right, great. So she got off. She pulled comps. The house was legitimately, easily a $350,000 house. He's got it listed for 300. He just doesn't know any better, right? Because he doesn't know how to pull comps. He doesn't know what stuff is going for now. So he's already right out the gate sacrificing 50 grand in equity before he even gets started. So she takes her buyers out there. She shows her buyers the house. The buyer tells her, whispers in her ear at the showing, yeah, this thing's easily worth 350. I've seen houses not as nice as this for more than 350 that I wish we could have got. And she goes, yeah, I know. And so they liked the house. She, of course, thanked the guy for letting her show it, and she'd get back with him. She sits down with her buyer, and the buyer's like, what do you think? And she goes, well, it's for sale by owner. There's no agent on the other side. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see just how good a deal we can get. That's our duty, right? If we're representing the buyer, our job is to get the best deal we can for the buyer. So she wrote up an offer for 250, which legitimately is 100K underneath the value of the home. She did a 45-day close, a 43-day inspection period, which there's not a listing agent in the world that would agree to an inspection period up to 2 days before, right? The close. No earnest money, no inspection money. She put in a additional provisions addendum asking for all of the carpets to be professionally cleaned in the house, the entire house to be power washed, and both front and rear decks to be power washed and repainted, which he agreed to. Then they got inspections. She came with she put everything that the inspector found on the repair request, which he then did, right? So $10,000 worth of repairs, and closed on the deal. Absolutely raked him over the coals. He literally lost $113,000 worth of his equity in the attempt to save 2.5%, right? Wow. And walked away from the deal like, yes, I successfully sold my own house, right? The better we can get at telling these stories to our prospects, showing them that the fact that you don't know how this works is absolutely going to ruin your equity. I don't know if that answered your question, but it's a fun story.
Yes, great story. Not just, hey, I'm going to help you sell for more money, but let me share this story with you. Bam. Mm-hmm. $114,000 or whatever it was saved.
Yeah.
Lost, I should say.
Lost. Yeah, lost. That absolutely would have been a different story. If there had been another agent on the other side of that deal, not a chance. Right. None of that stuff would have flown.
Great story. Yep.
So the better we can get at telling those stories instead of just saying, hey, look, guys, I will net you more money, because that's what we all go in there and do, right? We go in and say, look, if you list with me, I'll make sure you get more money than what this commission would have been. And they're like, that's BS, right? Tell a real world story that shows exactly how they can get taken advantage of.
Absolutely. That's a great story and a great explanation of kind of the unknowns on the selling side for a FSBO. Absolutely love the stuff. You're giving us some gems so far, Shane. I did notice one thing in our conversation so far, and we're going to circle back around and kind of talk about you as well, because we really want to know your story as well. You mentioned you were a cop, so tell us a little bit about the things that got you to where you're at now. What that journey looked like, where you started at, and how you're having the success you are now.
Yeah, fair enough. So I grew up in a building family. My folks were builders, and so I came up, early teens. I was spending my summers cleaning up lots and doing the crap that a builder's kid would do. When I got out of high school, I went to work for my dad's framing crew, and I did that for a year and a half, and then got my license, my Class C license in Virginia, and I started doing their interior trim. I started doing their decks. Then I ended up picking up their siding. Did a bunch of did roofing for a while. Then I ended up getting my Class A general contractor's license, and started building custom homes. And I did that in Virginia for quite a while. But around '08 or '07, when the market did what everybody knows it did in '07, everything just went to hell in a handbasket. I said, well, what are we going to do here? Because all of these builders are going out of business. I'm having a hard time. Who knows what's going on in the housing industry? And at that point, I had been a skydiving instructor for about 10 years. I fought in tough man competitions at the Richmond Coliseum a couple years running. I've been doing CrossFit for a while at that point and was competing in the CrossFit competitions in Richmond and stuff. And so I figured, heck, let's go be a cop for a while. Why not? When the economy is bad, policing is good, right? Because there's so much crime and they need cops, and cops get paid better when the economy is bad. So I went in, I became a cop. I was on the street for 6 months. At that point, the chief of police came down and invited me to the narcotics unit because I was making more drug arrests, which is something I was passionate about, than a lot of the detectives that were doing it as their full-time gig. So I joined the narcotics unit around 6 or 8 months after joining the narcotics unit, and it was me and 7 or 8 other detectives. Our sergeant was leaving, going to another department. And so the chief called me in the office. I'm the junior guy on the squad. And he goes, hey, I want to make you acting sergeant. And so I then took over control of the narcotics unit. I had 8 detectives underneath me and had a blast. I was doing 3 or 4 search warrants a week pretty consistently. I ended up developing a informant that could go after a cartel member from the Zeta cartel. And so I got sworn to the FBI Drug Task Force and went up and down the East Coast tearing off cartel members, which again was a lot of fun. I took a bunch of advanced interview and interrogation courses and classes and started teaching it, and had a lot of fun getting in the box with these murderers, high-level drug dealers and stuff, and getting them to flip. And part of my job as a narcotics agent is developing informants. And the only way you can develop informants is if you can connect with people, even if you're on vastly opposite sides of the spectrum. And so I got really good at developing informants because I approach people with respect. I understand that I'm a man, you're a man, you made decisions that now you're having to face. I didn't treat people any kind of way. I didn't look down on people. You made decisions. Now you have to talk to me. So you're paying for your decisions. Let's see what we can do to get through this, make it not as bad a situation. And I developed a lot of informants that worked with me after their charges were taken care of, right? Where they just continued on working with me, feeding me information, helping me get big drug busts, that kind of thing. Absolutely had a blast doing narcotics work. However, there's no money in law enforcement. And there is I'm doing all of these high risk search warrants. And at any point, I never had to shoot anybody as a police officer, which I'm thankful for. And I never got shot at, even though I was at the front of a lot of these really high intensity situations. I never faced bullets coming my way, which again is a great situation to be in. I was good at deescalating situations, and all of that, everything that I just said plays into real estate, right? De-escalating situations, when you got a seller that is losing their mind over something, being able to get in their head and calm them down and bring them down to reality and make them reasonable, all of that stuff plays a huge role. When you've got a agent on the other side of a transaction that's trying to pull a slick one on you, being able to maneuver through that smoothly and not blow the deal up and successfully negotiate through some of those situations, all of that goes right back to my police work, which is pretty cool. But I got out of police work in late 2015, early 2016, got back into building. And then my family and I moved to North Carolina in 19, and that's when I got my real estate license.
I think
And
they
then
call that
all of this to what I'm doing. What's that?
I think they call that street smarts, Shane.
There you go.
You take that street knowledge and apply it to the real estate game, and it can actually, like you said, de-escalate or diffuse a lot of those situations, probably with a lot less stress for you because you've been in way higher stress situations than real estate stress. Okay. You were
Right.
in life and death stress situations. So you went from developing informants to converting FISBOs. And
To converting FISBOs and expireds.
you
Yeah,
do that by building relationships, just like we
that's it.
talked about.
Yep.
Relationships over transactions. Relationships over transactions. Have you guys ever heard that one?
No.
Once or twice. But
um,
it couldn't be more true, right? Those people that focus on transactions might get a deal from that person, but they're not going to get the follow-up deals. They're not going to get the referrals because that person, when you force your way into a transaction, there's resentment. There's hard feelings. Maybe you got the deal done, but a lot of times you aren't earning their business for life. If you come at it truly not caring, the moment that I truly stopped caring about whether I got a deal in my conversation with people, the deals just started flowing. It was obviously we all need to get deals, but if you can take it out of your prospecting, completely remove it and make that win a 30-minute conversation, building great rapport with people, making someone laugh, it's over.
Exactly.
Great
Exactly.
advice.
We say it constantly here, start helping, stop selling and start helping. You know what I mean? That's the
it.
basis of it. I mean, genuinely, if you just go in with the intentions, and I tell a lot of the new agents here is it's exactly how I do it. I don't go in thinking about a sale. If I go show a $300,000 house and it's a terrible fit for them, and then we go see a $100,000 house next and it's a great fit, I'm not pushing them to that $300,000 house because it's a bigger commission check. I'm pushing them to the $100,000 house because it's the best fit for them. And then the next house is going to be, where I'm going to work with them on the next house and the house after that
Right.
and the house after that.
Improve their quality of life. That's what we focus on. If we
That's
can
it.
help improve their quality of life, then it's a win. And it's hard for new agents to wrap their minds around that. New agents want the paycheck. They want the commission check.
And they need it because they
Right.
spent all this money, right? Like
Right.
their bank account hates them right now.
Right.
Between the courses and getting up on the MLS and all these fees that are coming out of their bank account, it's like, holy crap, are you ever going to make any money ever again? So I get it. It's stressful for those new agents and they need to make a paycheck, but they got to understand they're building a 30-year career, right? In the short term, it may be a little painful, but you're building a 30-year career. Just stay the course.
Excellent advice. All right. Are we ready to jump into the huge four and the rapid fire round?
Let's do it.
All right. First, we're going to hit you with the huge four. Oh, yeah, baby. Are you ready for the huge four? All right. Number one. What's the one thing you wish you would have known when you began your career?
Cold calling. I just didn't know it right out of the gate. I didn't, it just wasn't anything that I thought about.
Number two. What was your biggest failure, Shane, and what did you learn from it?
Biggest failure. Wow. Damn. I don't know. I truly don't focus on my failures. I focus on
running the
follow a
MRF,
philosophy of stoicism.
Slower than you thought you would, completing the MRF in a slower time than you would have liked to.
There you go. There you go. We could absolutely say that because I blew it last year on MRF. So no, we could absolutely say that. I'm thinking in terms of my real estate business, and I like the 4 years I've been at it. I'm happy with everything that I've done and where I've come, like what I've gotten to. So, plenty of stuff in my personal life, but nothing in real estate.
When we joked about the MRF, and that's actually not a failure. That's a success, just completing that. Yeah. So kudos to you. And we talked about that, how you're ramping up the training, and because you have the MRF shirt on there, so we have to mention it.
That's right.
And you're getting excited to hit it this year, correct?
I am. I'm super excited. I run every morning between 1.5 miles and 2.5 miles with the weight vest on. And then I come back and I do dead hangs for 2 minutes at a time. And then I do my CrossFit workout later in the evening. Are you doing 24.1? Have you done it yet or no?
Not yet. Have you?
Nah, I'm going to grab some hell. Up to now, I haven't had 50-pound dumbbells in my home gym. So I found a guy in the marketplace that's got some. When we're done here, I'm going to get my 50-pound dumbbells, and I'm gonna be hitting 24.1. So
Nice.
we'll see. It's a 15-minute time cap. It's going to be tough.
Yep. There's guys that are doing it in like 5 and 6 minutes.
Oh yeah, yeah. The heck with that. The heck with that. That's animals.
My goodness.
I'm not doing it in 5 or 6 minutes. I'm going to be lucky if I do it in 15.
So what's okay? Let me know. I'm out of the CrossFit circle here.
Yeah, for the viewers and listeners. Yeah.
Yeah. So every year this time in CrossFit, we do the CrossFit Open, where everybody in CrossFit can compete and get ranked on where they are on the totem pole of CrossFit athletes in the world. And the first workout this year is 24.1. It is dumbbell snatches. And so you take a 50-pound dumbbell and you take it from the floor overhead 21 times with one arm. Then you do burpee jump overs. You put the dumbbell down, you do a burpee, you jump over the dumbbell, you do another one, you do that 21 times. Then you grab the dumbbell with your other hand and you do 21 more dumbbell snatches. Then you do 15s. Then you do, what is it, 8s or 9s?
Nines.
9s, 15s, and 21s. So you have to do all of those in 15 minutes. And doing it in 5 or 6 minutes, I can't even imagine. I would.
Yeah. Well, I told my buddy that, and he called bullshit on it. He said, "Oh, bullshit." I said, "Well, I think he did hit the time cap, Dave."
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're excited to do that. But yeah, that'll be a fun one.
And
Tomorrow will be my first time doing it.
Good luck, man. Have fun with it.
I don't
enjoy the suck. I mean, that's really what this comes down to, is enjoying the suck.
I don't focus on all the other animals. I just do my thing.
Right. Well, I heard a quote a long time ago, and it really applies. Pick your pain. You have the pain of working out and an easy life, or you cannot work out and have a difficult life. Which difficult do you want to have, right? So for me, it's never been a question. I've always been into physical fitness. I'm 51 this year, and I feel like I'm in my 30s. Hell, maybe younger some days. I might not perform quite at that level, but it is the fountain of youth. Work out.
Yep. Absolutely. And big shout out too. I mean, so we're all fitness guys here too, but big shout out to Mr. Pete Peterson too. Shane, we'll give him a quick shout out. He placed second yesterday at the Arnold Classic.
Nice.
So big shout out to Mr. Pete. Woo!
Let's go.
46. So I get to go with the old guys. The class. Here's the thing, though. The classes keep getting smaller and smaller the older you get. So there's less competition. So I'm just going to outlast everybody. That's my plan.
Yep, totally agree.
Yeah.
I looked at guys I went to high school with, and I'm like, holy cow, you look like you're 80. You look like an 80-year-old Oompa Loompa. What in the world have you done with your life?
That's it, man.
Crazy.
Fitness is huge. Okay, number 3, Biggie.
What are the best resources that have helped you along the way?
Probably Zero to Diamond. I mean, meeting Ricky was the catalyst that changed everything about my real estate. When I first got into real estate, 2 weeks in, a week and a half in, I found him on YouTube. I dug into his systems. I wasn't getting any help from my brokerage, right? They said, go meet people, and just kind of left it as this generalized, talk to your sphere, which I didn't have any, and go meet people. And I'm like, that's not a plan. And I found Ricky, and I dug into his program. I watched every video he had with him cold calling. And I said, if this goofy guy can do it, and I say that lovingly because Ricky is my boy, right? If he can do it, I can do it, right? Like I have a big enough ego to think I can duplicate what anybody else does, for sure. Yeah. And so I did my level best to duplicate what he was doing, and it's off to the races from there.
Yeah, it's like that old child song. If you can do it, I can do it better. Anything you can do, I can do it better.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's great.
Love it.
Last one.
And you mentioned Goldbar. So can you elaborate on Goldbar a little bit?
Well, Goldbar it's a combination of Ricky and his Zero to Diamond program, and one of his partners, or our partners here at our brokerage, is Juan Baronecci, who is a 30 under 30 guy. And his team that he had coming into this was Goldbar, and now it's grown into this massive coaching platform, right? CRM coaching platform, all of this other stuff that has just taken off. And it's got a lot of people joining it. It's a great resource for people to, learn from what other people have done well. See, I'm a huge fan on seeing where I want to go, picking somebody that's already gone there, doing what they did to get there. So I don't have to recreate the wheel. I don't have to figure out how to do it. They had to figure out how to do it. Now I'm going to duplicate what they're doing and then do my level best to improve upon it. And so this is just a great platform for that to occur.
Yeah. And coaching and clients, the coaching and client relationship or prospective client relationship is similar to FSBO in a real estate agent relationship, whereas you may come to someone and say, well, hey, or the client would say, I don't need coaching. I can learn myself. I can learn on my own. I can coach myself. I'm going to save money. I'm not paying hundreds of dollars for coaching.
Right.
Well, guess what?
Right.
Those hundreds of dollars that you invest in coaching will create thousands of more dollars for you in return by investing in yourself.
And here's the thing, right? Do you want to stay in the slow lane for the next year until you build up speed into the fast lane? Or do you want to next month switch from the slow lane into the fast lane? That's what I'll tell them a lot of time. Look, it's not that you can't learn it. It's not that you're not smart enough to figure it out. It's not that you don't have the resources to put the pieces together and get where you want to get. The question is how fast you want to get there. If you want to get there slow, continue with what you're doing. If you want to get there fast, find a coach that's doing what you want to do. Have them help you do what you want to do much faster than you're going to get there. And then enjoy the success from it.
Yeah. Life in the fast lane.
That's it. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Hey, we only got so much time on this earth. You got to take advantage of every second and minute.
Yes, sir.
You got that right. You constantly better be moving that needle every day. And that's something in my coaching clients that I am working on. I'm like, look, you can get into this business and you can fill your day up with crap that does not move the needle in your bank account 1 inch. It's easy to do. We are the best at busy work that doesn't do crap. And so what I focus on with them is just paring down what they're doing, focusing on the things that are actually going to make a difference, and then going all in on that. Putting minimal time into the other fluff, because why would you? That's why my social media game is not strong at all, because I've never slowed down to go work on websites or really push. Now I do push my YouTube channel because that brings me my coaching clients, and I get a lot of my videos of me calling people and the people that I'm coaching calling people on there. But I haven't put any effort into real estate social media, and it's just because I found something that works. I'm all in on that until it doesn't. When I have to revamp, I'll revamp. And I'll go all in. I mean, if it's social media, I'll go all in on social media, and I will do my level best to be the best at that in as short a time as possible. But for now, I just haven't needed it.
Yeah.
Well, JP, you and Shane should exchange coaching techniques. You could coach Shane on how to up his social media, and in return, Shane could coach with his techniques. Because JP is our social media savant, man. He could take an Instagram account and blow it up.
Nice. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I got some cold call experience in the back
That's
tool
good.
belt too. I used to work in debt collection. I worked in debt collection for 3 years. So
oh God, everybody hated you.
Exactly, man. Hey, that's the best sales training you could have, though. You're calling people that don't want to talk to you, don't have the money to pay you, they think you're a bad person. You get those guys to pay you, then you can talk to anybody on the phone. So
you got that right.
Absolutely.
All right, so here we go. What are the 2 books that have inspired your success?
Stairway to the Top by Oh, shoot. Stairway to the Top by the old motivational speaker. I'm drawing a blank now that you've put me on the spot.
Rome.
Zig Ziglar.
Yep.
Stairway to the Top by Zig Ziglar. And then, well, I'm reading the 10X Rule now, but I think better than that was the one by Never Split the Difference. Never Split the
Yes.
Difference by the
Chris
FBI guy.
Voss.
I'm there. Yeah, Voss.
I love
Yep.
that book. I love
That's a
that book.
great book. A lot of those techniques apply directly to what we're doing.
Funny enough, you say that because he says in the book there's one word you just hardly ever say, and my brother-in-law, who's my business partner, he loves just getting under my skin and just saying why. I'm like, bro, you can't say that. It's how come? What's the reason? Stop saying that. In my own household.
That's right.
When the kid says why, I'm like, I pause and then he fixes himself.
Yeah.
And then I answer. So
That's
I
awesome.
just love that book.
It's
Amazing.
see you at the top. Zig Ziglar, see you at the top.
See you at the top. See
Yeah,
you at the
'cause
top by
I'm
Zig
adding
Ziglar.
it to my Audible list here. So.
Yep. I read that when I was in high school. My dad forced me to read that book, totally against my will, and it was and I hated every minute of reading it. I'll say, back when I was in high school, despised every moment of turning a page in that book. And since then, I've probably reread it 3 or 4 times. Love it. Right? Like it just really applies.
What are the
what
key
we're trying to
takeaways
do.
from that?
Oh, one of his famous sayings is, you help enough other people get what they want and you'll get what you want in life. And I think that just really, like that couldn't apply any better to us as real estate agents. We're helping people get what they want, and then we're earning something out of it as well. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about your clients. It doesn't matter if you're talking about your coaching clients, other real estate agents. It doesn't matter what aspect of it you're talking about. If you help enough people, then you're going to do well.
That's it, baby. It's that simple. All right. Are you ready for the rapid fire round, Shane?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. Right off the top of your head, first thing that comes to mind, what is your spirit animal?
Wolf.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie would have to be Last of the Mohicans.
Favorite food?
Oh, shoot. Pizza. I mean, I know that's generic as hell, but I eat it every day on Zoom. So it's pizza. I work out so hard so that I can eat what I want.
Exactly.
So that's just how it is.
Yeah.
What do you do in your spare time?
I CrossFit. I try to skydive. I do bonsai trees. I've got over 100 bonsai trees out in my front yard that I cultivate and work on and shrink and make look like ancient trees. So if it's not a family thing, like doing something with the kids or the wife, it's one of those 3 things.
Amazing. If you could have dinner with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Clint Eastwood.
And why?
Oh, because he's been the pinnacle of awesomeness since I was a kid. And the guy's 90 something and he's still going strong. Like, I aspire to hit 100, right? And to be able to do what that man is doing at 90 something years old. What is he, 94, 95 now? I don't know, but he's solidly in his mid 90s, and that joker is a machine.
Insane.
Yep.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
Here lately, Lose Control. I can sing it cold by Teddy Swims.
Let's
All
hear
right,
it.
give us a little
And
bit.
I heard that song on the radio and I went, damn, that sounds like a hard song to sing. And I'm not a memorized song kind of guy. That's just not my thing. And I forced myself to listen to it over and over and over again. And I've got all the tonality and everything. I suck at singing, but I can crush that song.
Well, now you got to give us a little sample.
Oh, shoot. Y'all gonna put me on the spot with Teddy Swims. All right, hold on just a sec. Let me cue
All right,
something
we're
up
going to
here.
get some.
Let's go.
All right. I'm gonna sing along though because my tone just sucks, but I'm I've got the words. Give me a second. I'm gonna
Yep.
cue it up so that
You
y'all
take
hear
your
it.
time.
Got me singing on a podcast. What in the world are we doing here?
We have fun over here, Shane. All
That's
right.
right.
Hey, I love it. I love it. All right, let's see what this one sounds like.
It's probably a pretty familiar story for most people. Water starts backing up.
It's good. Something's got a hold of me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, never mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? It's taking a toll on me, trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I'll lose? Whoa, when you're not next to me.
Hey,
There you
man.
go.
Wow, excellent.
Talk about the things you have no idea you're going to go into on a podcast.
That's why I love it. That's why I love it. Hey, Shane, awesome job on that. Usually we get one or two words. I think that's been the most singing we've ever got on this show.
The best karaoke we've had.
So kudos to you, Shane.
Thanks,
All
brother.
right. We got a couple more. Okay, we're jumping from that rough
Okay.
transition into what is something you fear?
Failing my family, right? Running out of deals, bills stacking up, debt collectors coming, that kind of thing. That's always a fear in the back of my mind.
Got
Last
it.
one.
Last one. What is your greatest accomplishment, Shane?
My marriage. By far. I'm on marriage number 3. My first 2 were a dumpster fire. It is equally my fault in that because guys are hard-headed, and I'm no exception to that. And I did it right on number 3. Right, I fixed myself, which allowed me to have just a fantastic marriage.
Tremendous.
I think they say third time's a charm, baby.
Third time was absolutely the charm. First 2 were painful.
Awesome job, Shane Noblin, man. Shane, that's why I love doing the Dream Huge podcast. We start off as strangers. By the end of the show, I feel like we're best friends, and we've learned a lot about you and learned a lot of things that can help some real estate agents out there. Not only real estate agents, but anyone in the sales industry.
Right.
Just getting face to face and helping folks out. Any final closing thoughts from anyone, Shane?
Nah, I don't think so, man. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I appreciate you guys inviting me on the show. I had no idea where we were going with this, and what the questions were going to look like. You guys made it fun, and yeah, good stuff.
Awesome, Biggie, JP.
No, man. Thanks for joining.
Nope.
For sure, brother.
All right.
Happy to see you.
Hey, Shane, you mentioned the YouTube channel. What's the name? How do folks find you on YouTube, and where else can folks find you and follow you?
Yeah, so they can find me on YouTube at Next Level Agent 441. I kind of liked the Next Level Agent tag, and then apparently it's out there a few times, so it had to have the 441 at the end of it. So Next Level Agent 441, I've got about 50 videos on there with everything about my cold calls, my scripting. I don't even like calling it a script. It's a conversation, but tons of videos on there, a lot of content. I'm adding to it daily. They can also catch me on Facebook at Shane Noblin Realtor, or they can catch me on Instagram if they want to see a little bit of real estate and some CrossFit at Shane Noblin. So pretty easy.
Excellent stuff. Shane Noblin, thank you very much for your time today, sir. We had a great time with you. And thank you, everyone, for listening to the Dream Huge podcast with JP, John Pavlansky, Justin Bigelow, myself, Pete Peterson, Mark Gray, the producer extraordinaire. Please remember to review, subscribe, and share. And as always, folks, remember the rules. Work hard, never give up, and dream huge. Let's see the guns one more time.
Let's go.
our CrossFit brother from another
That's
mother,
it. That's
Shane
it.
Noblin.
Let's
Thank you,
go.
Stay in
buddy.
touch. Let me know what 24.1 look like. I'll send you mine.
Yes, love it. Thank you, man. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you.